EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for the weekend of January 4th and 5th, 2025. It is Saturday, and the weekend video forecast is proudly sponsored by the KP Agency in Easton, Pennsylvania. Annual enrollment has passed, but every day 10,000 Americans turn 65, and that could be you soon. If you're approaching 65 or planning your retirement, it's the perfect time to get your Medicare options in order. Our friend Kristen, the owner of the KP Agency, is here year-round to help you navigate the Medicare maze, making sure that you get the coverage you need and when you need it. Don't trust your decisions to a 1-800 number or a faceless website. Depend on a local reliable source. Call Kristen at 908-329-7140 or visit thekpa.net to get started. They are the KP Agency in Easton, Pennsylvania, proud sponsors of the weekend video forecast. So we have a cold weekend coming up here, but it's going to be a dry weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a little windy today, a little breezy here. It's still on Sunday, but not quite as windy. So the wind chills are going to be an issue with temperatures to see above me, 28 to 33. On Saturday and 30 to 34 either side of freezing on Sunday. Again, the wind is going to be an issue, especially this morning. I think you're going to have some wind gusts 30 to 35 that might go into early afternoon. Then we go back to like 15 to 25, gusting to 30 as we get further into the day. Overnight, it is back into the 10 to 15, gusting to 20 range. So it's going to a little less breezy overnight. And then here on Sunday, a lot of 10 to 15, gusting 20 to 25. So with that, you're going to have a wind chill to deal with and to contend with, and this is going to be the start of things. I think once you get to next week, we're going to be dealing with that again. Kind of similar wind speeds, on Tuesday and Thursday of next week. Most notably, I think is going to be the worst days of that, but we'll see as we get forward. Go forward in time. Now, let's go to the elephant in the room, which is this storm coming here on Monday. Still some things to work out, but we have a better idea with everything kind of shifting south. After I did the video yesterday, it looked like everything was coming north. I was even making a case for it. So everything up until, of course, I make the video and then everything changes the other direction, right? Well, we had the early morning runs, went south, and just pretty much stayed south today. There was some slight minor tweaks here and there. The general idea is basically set with this system coming in, and it's going to come in very late Sunday night. In our southwestern areas. This is south central Pennsylvania. This is the GFS I'm showing you here. And the big difference of why this all went south from where it was yesterday is because this low right here is not quite as amped, which means it's not as strong. It's about 5 millibars. It was about 5 millibars stronger yesterday, which allowed this all to push up against the confluence and push this up a little bit. So the confluence zone is kind of sitting like this. And yesterday it was pushing it a little bit further to the northeast, giving this storm room to come north. That is not happening today. And that system that is making, that we talked about, that was going into Newfoundland, is a little bit stronger. It's a little bit further west, so the confluence zone is a little bit stronger with it, and that is keeping this thing a little bit weaker. Upper low up here in Quebec is also playing a role in keeping this thing weaker too. So it can't plow through the confluence because it's just not strong enough to do so. Normally, warm air advection events will do that, and we're kind of banking that to happen. We're looking at model biases and things like that to sometimes the model biases work against the model. Other times it doesn't really play a factor. And this is one of those cases where it did not. So it does look like the areas in the southern portions of our coverage area, because this is still areas to recover across northern Maryland, Delaware, southern New Jersey, and far southern Pennsylvania are going to get a pretty good snowfall out of this. The rest of us are going to get less, incrementally less as you head northeast. So taking a look at what the GFS does here, moves this snow in here again late Sunday night on the GFS for south central PA that will spread eastward Monday morning, and gets up to about I-78 with the decent stuff. But I mean, as you get, that's I-78, western portions of I-78 as you head toward Harrisburg, we'll get into a little bit better than areas east, like say toward the Lehigh Valley and northern New Jersey. Here's what the GFS has this evening as far as total snowfall. This is the northernmost model that we have. Again, these areas up here are not really getting anything at all. Okay, look how sharp this cutoff is from nothing at all to very little to very minor stuff in through here. And then you get further southwest of, say, like Lehigh Valley and central New Jersey, you get into a 2 to 4 inch area, and it goes up from there, and there's a bullseye here that is not between I-76 and I-78 like I thought was going to happen yesterday. Instead, it's going to be near or south of, and mainly south of the Mason-Dixon line. Over Maryland and Delaware. We do cover these areas. Of course, southern New Jersey as well. We do cover these areas as well. So this is part of our territory. I don't want to minimize this like you guys are. We're not getting anything here because part of our area is, and are getting a decent amount of it. The European model that just ran this evening, I'm recording this very late, a lot later than usual. I was having computer issues this evening, so we did this a little bit after midnight, actually about an hour after midnight. Here's 1 a.m. The European model is the latest and greatest that ran overnight. So we are still getting snow up in these areas, and a little bit more so than the GFS is indicating up in these areas, right? So there are some snow showers that are going to get up there at least. It's just not going to be as lucrative for you guys up here as it will be across just south of the Mason-Dixon line. Now, the bullseye here in the European model is a lot further south than the GFS. This is something that we have to work out here over the next 12 hours or so. We do expect to have a snow map out today. Later this afternoon. That'll be releasing the form, of course, early, and any of the subscribers to our Facebook page will get that early as well. Text alerts will go out for this, of course, prior to the public release, which should be about 5 o'clock today. Maybe, I think it's going to be 5 o'clock. We'll see. I'll let you know. But this is looking at, some decent accumulations in this area. This is still plowable across parts of south central Pennsylvania over to places like Lancaster and Chester and South Jersey, and you get to far South Jersey here on the European model. It's actually showing above 6 inches. And that same thing for the southern 2/3 of Delaware. We got to work out where that heaviest axis is because there's a big difference between these two right now. See that from the GFS European model. Canadian's kind of in the middle, so we'll kind of work that out today and see where we trend from here. But I don't think we have much more trending to do. And this isn't all of a sudden going to say take a big shift northward, I don't think, and start plowing areas up in this area here. I think it's that ship has sailed, so it's good for these areas down here that haven't had snow in a couple years now, that have been missing out on some of the bigger snows. So in the wake of this system here, once this pulls away, we're going to have some cold temperatures the rest of the week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all dry days, partly to mostly sunny days, and temperatures generally below freezing for most areas through the entire stretch. Will be breezy at times during the week ahead too, but the cold is going to linger for a little while, we think, and it does look like that for after the if you did not make out with this particular storm here on Monday. If you don't make out with the storm on Monday and you missed out, and you're not going to get that much snow out of it, you're probably going to be waiting a while. Next couple weeks look drier than average. You might have some snow showers here and there. No big organized storms, I don't think. I just did the long range yesterday. Don't really foresee that happening until we get to the final 10 days of this month and heading into the first week of February, where you have a lot more moisture to work with at that point. You could have some snow events, given the fact that we're going to be still slightly below average temperatures at that point. So we might be waiting for a little bit with that, except for some maybe minor snow shower events. It looks like this isn't going to be something that's going to be a start of many different systems. I know there's some talk about maybe something around the 9th or 10th. That's probably not happening. Maybe some snow showers out of that, but I wouldn't get too excited. But it doesn't look like they're going to have any big storms here for at least 2 weeks after this. Okay, I'm going to cover this again. I do a weekend video forecast for Saturday and Sunday, and never a video on Sunday unless it is the Weather Weekly's video, which I do. So I will address this in the Weather Weekly's video. We'll already have a map out for that Saturday at 5. We'll have an updated map on Sunday. So we'll talk about any changes that happens on Sunday morning in that video, in the beginning of the video, before we go into the longer range stuff. So we'll update you again with that stuff on Sunday morning. But other than that, I will see you again on Monday for the next daily forecast video. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for the weekend of January 4th and 5th, 2025. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.